Good morning, everybody. This is a new installation of Landscape Lies by Landscape Lyle. And I'm here to talk to you a little bit about recovery from the wildfires that we've all suffered here in Southern California. And this would apply to anywhere you may have that kind of damage. In the future, I am planning a series of question and answer podcasts with various professionals that are experts in the field, including myself, of course. We will talk with an insurance reconstruction expert who is also involved with the insurance industry. We will speak with a actual luxury home builder who has unfortunately has clients who have lost their homes in the Palisades fires. And then we will talk with a expert in soil reconstruction who is an entrepreneur that produces a lot of soil amendments and other things to add the juice back in. We've spoken about this previously, but I think the time is good to get a little bit more in depth and to give people something really to work with that will help them in their recovery effort. Not all of us are affected by this directly. We will all be affected by it indirectly through increased insurance rates, I'm sure, across the board, because insurance companies spread the wealth of their losses across the entire client base. That's just normal business practices. We will probably experience either shortages or longer wait times for contracting firms and labor of skilled craftsmen because, well, there's a lot of homes to rebuild and the experience has just begun. We also have to deal with the bureaucratic nightmare of environmental reviews and current building codes that were in place long after some of these homes were originally built. We are told that the powers that be will suspend some of these rules, but there's no guarantee, and there are probably some things that will not be overlooked. We also have to consider the fact there's a gigantic cleanup, and even though ash from wood and other organic material is an extremely powerful and great natural fertilizer, you have to remember that a lot of these homes that built had a lot of other materials in there that don't really lend themselves to anything else other than a toxic soup, plastics, and asbestos that may have been in some of the older homes, a lot of lead and heavy metals that were in some of the older homes because of the paint and some other things that are in the mix. That all has to be dealt with prior to anything else. And of course, with the scope and the gigantic loss of property, it's going to take a while just to get it cleaned up. So hopefully this helps. I can also lend my expertise when it comes to reconstruction and give some advice as to the proper plantings and irrigation and other elements to your landscape that will help to mitigate any fire damage. There are things you can do to harden your property that don't require tremendous rebuild, just common sense things like plugging your vents on your home, not planting plants next to the house that are flammable, using non-flammable mulches near the home, making sure that the brush is cleared far enough away from your property to slow down or eliminate any real fires close to your home. For most of us in this Southern California basis, it's really more of an inconvenience of smoke and fire-related traffic issues and people getting in our ways and various other things. However, some of these homes really had no chance because when there's enough fuel built up, the radiant heat alone from the amount of fuel can light a house on fire from close to a quarter mile away. That's why when forest fires come, there's only one way to get away from it, and that's to evacuate and pray for the best, even with all these mitigating procedures like plants and maybe sprinklers and other things, you really have no choice because the fire is so powerful. It just lights things on fire that gets in its way. Brush fires don't have that kind of energy, but they do cause enough problems. One of the best things, and I'll leave it at this, that you can do for yourself if you have a swimming pool is to get a big water pump with a big hose, and that can put out enough water to really do something, because your garden hose is not enough. You're literally just peeing in the wind. It's not going to do very good in any kind of case for the amount of force and power that comes with a true fire. If you've ever been in a real firestorm, you would understand how powerful it is, and you really have no chance against something that powerful. Mother Nature has its ways when it wants to, and all we can do is just get out of its way. Hopefully most of us that are hearing this aren't directly affected by fire damage. And if you are, all my sympathy. If you've lost everything, just remember you still have your life and everything can be replaced. So with that said, God bless, and I will talk to you in the next episode of Landscape Lies by Landscape Lyle.